Hello, Sagittarius. It is time for your weekly reading. This one's going to be from June 14th to the 21st, 2021. And I haven't done the weekly readings for a couple of weeks. I wasn't even sure if I was going to continue with them. But then when I didn't, I got some people sending me emails saying they really wanted them to continue and some other feedback. So I will continue them. I was going to do some other things like love readings and pick a deck readings, which I still absolutely intend to do. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But I do want to expand things and make things more interesting for you, so that will all be on the go. So today I'm just going to pull 6 cards about the future. As you move into the future, obviously there will be some carryover from the past and the present that will carry into the future. And of course, you know what your plans and dreams and hopes and aspirations are. So we will see how whatever cards I pull align with your concept of all of that good stuff. So we can, hopefully figure it out, and then you can make adjustments accordingly to make your world and your life better. So let's check it out. Ooh, I haven't gotten that card in quite some time. Or him. This one's wonderful. Okay. Interestingly enough, I tend to get these 2 cards together a lot. Okay, so let's take a peek. So let's put these guys up top and dive into this first. So this card shows somebody hanging on to something very tightly. Some pentacles, and so tightly that there are even pentacles under each of his feet. So really not going to let go of those pentacles. Now, pentacles can be money, they can be your health, they are something that you consider an investment. I think I get this card when I'm hanging on really tightly to my children. I don't want to lose them. I mean, they're adults and they can go wherever they want and do whatever they want, obviously, but I don't want to lose them. And some people get this card when, even if they're very generous people, sometimes you can get this card if you're saving for something, an investment, a house. Some people get this card because they are stingy and miserly and things like that. Some people get the card because they're hoarders and they're hanging on to all this stuff. And some people get the card because they're trying to hang on to their health. Sometimes it's, because their health is bad and so they're just hanging on to the last shreds of it. But sometimes it's because their health is actually quite good, but they hold on to good health. They work on it. They hoard every little bit of their good health, so to speak, but not necessarily in a negative way. So the card can be positive or negative, depending on, what we're talking about here. I also have another friend who really works on trying to keep her family together, and she also gets the card, and she believes it's in relation to her children. But when it comes to money, which is typically what the card is about, there are times you need to pull in the reins and not spend crazily and whatever. And then sometimes this card makes sense. But then there are other times you can let go a little and maybe, not be so tight with money. So it's, it's for your evaluation, not for anybody else's. Then we've got this card, which is a card of this fellow with the 10 of wands or sticks or whatever you want to call them. He's going along and he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, working hard, all that good stuff. But it looks like he's working a lot harder than he has to. I mean, these wands are piled up in front of him. There's an easier way to carry those. Maybe it's just too many. Maybe it's too much for him. Maybe it's too many burdens. And these wands represent action. Sometimes people can't say no. Excuse me. It looks like my allergies are not over yet for the season, unfortunately. Maybe he just can't say no, and he's just taking on too much. And there are just too many things to do, or it's just feeling overburdened in general. Young moms will often get this card. They're trying to do everything and trying to do it well, and it's so hard to do all of the things you need to well in that situation. Or, people who have twins or so many obligations or multiple jobs, people who are working 3 jobs to make ends meet will get this card. So often there's something that's overburdening you, but there's an easier way to carry those sticks, or maybe you can ask for help. There are times in life you can ask for help. You know, you don't always have to do everything by yourself. Now, these are things that most people will do throughout their life, and they will carry it into the future. So what you need to do is either learn to say no, or learn the skills to do this better and easier, so you can carry that into the future, not the problem, not the difficulty, not the issue. And then here we have you moving into the future and carrying some burdens with you, some negative thoughts or baggage along for the journey. Well, you don't need that. So you need to work on that to get rid of those things, to lighten the load for yourself so that you learn. Now, there will always be some of that as we move through life, but you want to lighten it as much as you can. You want to lift this burden. You want to lift this burden. You want your future to be free of some of these encumbrances because you don't need it. You've got stuff to do and people to be with and places to go. So here we have a card, which is the card of the tradesperson, basically. A craftsperson, somebody who is being commissioned to do some wonderful work here for somebody else. It's also about laying foundations, things not at the very beginning, but once something has started up, to actually start the building process. It can represent anything, but being that it's a card of pentacles, it often means the beginning of your career, laying foundations that will serve that, or it can mean the beginning of saving or investing or working on health-related issues so that, you know, you're eating well and exercising and doing things that make an investment in your longevity. So either way, it's some kind of an investment and you're building on it. You're creating the basic foundation that you will continue to build up on. Very exciting stuff. And then we've got the King of Swords. Now, this could be somebody you know that is a Libra or an Aquarius or a Gemini, an air sign. And he is very strong. He is very true and seeking of the truth and judicious and always trying to come up with new ideas and kind of a lifelong scholar, always learning and things like that. And he promotes those things. So say it's your dad or your best friend or your spouse or whoever it is. You know, if you have any of those pursuits, well, he's your man. He can help you with those things. He can show you the way. So that's exciting. And if you don't know a person like this, then maybe he is here to show you that you need to seek the truth about something. You need to go on a mission to seek the truth, or you need to learn something new. And then we have the Four of Wands, which is a beautiful, wonderful card, which can mean that you're moving to another home. It can mean a marriage or some kind of celebratory thing that requires, you know, some kind of recognition and celebration. This looks like a wedding. There are people with bouquets raised in the air. Everybody's dressed beautifully and there are garlands of flowers. So it's a very exciting, celebratory, happy card. So these cards are, you know, you could take them different ways, and there's nothing terrible wrong here, but, you know, you do want life to be a little easier and not so, you know, difficult. And here we have all this good stuff. So as you move into the future, things are going to get very nice and very lovely things are going to happen for you. I feel really confident that this reading is going to be really positive, that it is positive, and as you move into the future, it will become more and more of a reality for you. So take note of these things in your life in the next week. And I wish you all the best, and I really hope to talk to you again next week. Take care.